Oh, yeah. So this is how we do things now. Um, we
But
we
we need to say something funny at the beginning because that's how normally Stuart does it. Because last time was me singing.
yeah.
Noise,
Cool.
noise.
Hey, if you thought vehicle compliance was sexy and interesting, then you've come to the right place. This is The Rock Show, a kind of down the pub chat about transport compliance and how it is good for us all. I'm Alan, the CEO,
And I'm John, head of compliance at Compliance Rocks.
and welcome to The Rock Show. Keep talking. Yeah, fine. Okay, we'll try again. I guess this week I wanted to chat about kind of our business model in more detail, how we've built a revenue stream that means we've weathered this kind of storm that we're hitting at the moment in global crisis, and how we're trying to maybe bring that to the wider masses. So I guess we'll kick straight off with a question. So John, why do you think we have weathered this storm?
So, how have we weathered the storm? I think it's because, first, part of it is we have made ourselves invaluable to our clients. That they really see the value that we give them and the benefit of using
I
us.
like to think so.
So
Yeah.
if yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one. There's probably a few other things, but I think that's probably the biggest one because I'm sure there are other people out there doing similar sort of work that have been laid off, don't need your services anymore, and obviously I like to think. Well, it's not only you like to think, we're actually seeing it. People still are giving us data that we require, still giving us fuel data, still reporting PCNs, near hits. We're still producing reports.
And
So,
I think the thing is we're not just producing the reports; they're still accessing our service, which is our
yes,
technology and also our documentation that they buy into and their methodologies. We've helped them put in structures in how they operate their business that they need us to do that. And so they can't just cut us out of their business. I think what's been really nice actually is we've had conversations with a lot of our clients about payment holidays and things like that, and they're all saying, I don't want to do this, but if I need to, can we take a payment holiday? But obviously it's a payment holiday. It's not I don't want your services anymore. It is a we still need you, but we can't afford to pay you right now. And obviously we're playing it on a case by case basis. We can't do it with everyone because obviously we'd have no revenue. But I think the people that are asking, we're getting that sort of feedback that they genuinely want our help still, but they can't necessarily afford it right now. And so yeah, I think that is testament to the fact that we're not losing clients, just sacking them off. It's they are actually just wanting to take the payment holiday. So
we it's like we said on one of our sort of guffs on a website. Streamline compliance, everything else, great, but we do view ourselves as an extension of people's
yeah,
companies,
100%.
and this is proof we are an extension of all of our clients,
Yeah, and I think
the numerous clients we
at
have.
the moment our extension is we just help them manage their fours and their workflows and their processes to manage that process. Um, but obviously in the future we are looking to kind of expand outside of just being fours, and I mean there's many conversations we're having with many people at the moment that are going to hopefully lead to other
Watch this
things.
space.
There you go. I guess, but why have people? I mean, obviously we give a good service. I think that's a given. I think we both care about what we do enough that we won't not give a good service. But I think the fact that we charge a recurring revenue subscription model kind of charging scheme means that our clients spread the cost over the 12 months of their contract. And I mean, we've had many renewals come in and everyone's renewed their contract. So we've done really well in keeping those happy. But I guess the fact that because we provide that payment scheme, that does show that people aren't going to drop us.
Mm. It's a manageable cost that you can factor in each month, isn't it? It's not as though it's a we're smacking down £1,000 invoice. Yeah, son, deal with that.
No,
It's not
yeah,
at all.
we're
It's a really nice, depending obviously on the size of the fleet and the package they choose of us. It is a nice, easy, manageable amount.
yeah. I mean, it's like paying your phone bill, isn't it, or Netflix or Amazon Prime, or whatever.
Well,
It's I mean, how did we survive before we could spread the cost of things? I mean, subscription model. I think I spoke about this on a blog a few weeks ago about kind of the software as a service SaaS model that we're going down of providing a piece of software. Yes, not sassy. um, yeah, there's kind of piece of software that we're going to provide that we charge a low monthly fee in comparison to what they're actually getting because actually we work on lifetime value. We want to keep our clients happy, and I think that kind of that leads into how we can our model actually allows us to add value, doesn't it? I mean, let's be honest. If we had one of our competitors who is a wham bam, thank you ma'am, here's an invoice for a big bit of paperwork and a big folder, and I'll see you in 12 months, they're not incentivized to make their service any better because they make the sale, they make the money, off they go, see you in 12 months, and they just tick a box. Obviously, we don't do that. We operate on obviously a regular basis. We work with everyone every single month, and because people are not like we make a loss in the first 3 or 4 months of a client when they come on. We don't make any money. We actually it costs us more to operate than it does to that we get from the revenue from their invoice. But we know in the long term they're going to get value at that out of our service like that, and it leads us to want to get feedback, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course we crave that feedback, don't we?
Yeah,
And we only really want bad feedback. It's nice to have the good feedback, of course.
I think constructive criticism
not
is
too
the
much.
term I prefer, but yes,
Yeah,
the stuff
yeah.
that we could do better, of course. I think because if a client in the first 3 months, we know we make a loss on them in that first 3 months. If they're not happy, they're going to leave. I mean, obviously we've got a contract, but if they were to leave and not pay, we've made a loss. So we're incentivized to really work with our clients on a long-term basis because the happier they are, the more they're going to stay, the more we're going to carry on paying every single month. So, I mean, how do we get our feedback from our clients? We have various things that we do.
Well, we went through a stage doing surveys, didn't we? In the beginning, we obviously part of our customer success team. We ring around and we ask for feedback, but also we have a really good relationship with everyone. We have open channel communications. Again, depending on the package, people email us, feedback, even through Slack, which has been invaluable to our business.
Yep. I think the two key things. I mean, having an open dialogue is brilliant. The fact that I mean, let's be honest, you're the one that really manages our clients rather than like me, because where our skill sets lie. You talk to our clients every month. You send them their monthly report. You have a dialogue with them when it comes to their audit. You chat to them and you get the conversation going, and they you get a feel for them, don't you? You get a feel for how they're reacting, and then you can ask the questions that are appropriate. But I think that's great. But I think what we have is we have those regular surveys that go out. Admittedly, we've not had one for a few months just because everything that's happened and the team's grown and our client base has grown quite rapidly. It means that we haven't things have fallen by the wayside. So the surveys will start up again, especially with our new platform that's being launched in the next 2 months. We're going to get a lot of feedback on that. I know that people are going to look at it and go, "Oh, I don't like that. It's different to what I'm used to." So I want to get that feedback.
Change is good.
Yes, change for change's sake is not good, but change in the right direction definitely is. So yeah, we'll start doing surveys again. But yeah, as you say, having customer success phone around and kind of having questions. And I mean, one of your tasks this week is actually to do some case studies, wasn't it? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to be sort of writing a list of questions. I mean, obviously we want a case study to be written in a way that's paints us in a good light, obviously, but that's why we're doing them. We're using them as marketing materials. But those in-depth conversations you're going to be having are going to allow to really get a feel for how a client is feeling, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the feedback loop we have, and I think as we launch our new platform in a few weeks' time, we're going to ramp up that feedback loop rapidly because with our tech side of things, we can't sit and stay where we are. We have to be making it better for our clients because they're going to say, "Oh, I don't like where that button is," or "Why do I have to click through to 3 pages to find when I need to upload a fuel report or whatever?" I'm like, well, okay, fair point. Okay, shouldn't have happened in the first place. This is a reflection of my product management rather than them. But then we need that feedback. If they don't give it to us, we're not going to make it better. And to be honest, what I've noticed with a lot of clients, not our clients, but in other industries, is you've got your people at the top that love your product. You got the people that hate your product, but the people you really don't want, the people in the middle that are just ambivalent and just don't really care. They're really the worst people to have. You want people that
Just doing it for the sake of it.
yeah, and I think we can look at that in
Mm.
terms of compliance. Generally, I think there are a few people that we know that just kind of tick the boxes bare minimum. But I'm thinking more from a product development point of view is if you ask a question, nobody gives an answer. They just don't care, and if they don't care, they're not used to you. Like we don't
Mm.
mind undervaluing our product right now because we know the feedback we're going to get from people is vastly important. Like let's take the Rocks
Mm.
Academy as another example. We're kind of going off a tangent here, but the Rocks Academy
Mm.
we've been sort of iterating on the business model for the last few weeks, and while we've been recording the content, so just as a reminder, the Rocks Academy is our Toolbox Talks reimagined. So it's all on demand Toolbox Talks. For the listeners that haven't been keeping up to date on all our socials and stuff. And that yeah, so like we've been going back and forth with the Rocks Academy and working out kind of how we're going to market this, how we're going to model it, and kind of I even said in a previous podcast we were going to charge people for it. And we've done I've done a total 180 on that. We did a whole 5 minute piece on why charging for a service is a good thing. But actually, I'm totally 180 on that, but I think with a digital service it is different. And because we're now doing on demand and not live recording, I think there is a difference there. And I think that on demandness of it, we can give it away for free. And I mean, I know we don't necessarily agree eye to eye on this methodology.
I think I'm coming round because I think it's we have plenty in depth conversations about. Obviously, you're from a tech sort of startup background, and I'm not. And the more we discuss it and we talk about technology and tech startups and what we're doing with the tech and apps and everything else, yeah, it does make sense to have a portion free.
Yeah,
It is yeah, you have sold it to me
because I think if
to a certain
yeah,
degree, 98%,
I've got that
98%.
2% to go. For God's sake. But yeah, no, I think, I mean, we finally put the final touches to the strategy this week. But there's going to be a proportion of users on the Rocks Academy that will be free for an extended period of time, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, forever. They will have a freeness to it because what they pay instead of money is in their time to give us that feedback, and that's how products can develop because you're not going to get feedback from 2 or 3 people playing with the system. You need hundreds, you need thousands of people using a system to see what works. So then you can aggregate that data to work out what is good, what's not working, what can we do to make it better. And then when you've ironed out all the kinks and you've got the pie in the sky for all tech companies, that product market fit, you've got a product that fits the market and what they want. Once you hit that, you can then scale. And that's where you can start revenue generating and scaling it with revenue because suddenly people are going to go, do you know what? I want to pay for this because it's great. At the moment, what we're launching is shit. Let's be honest. Everything we're building now is going to be not very good because we want to get that feedback. And I think admitting and openly being happy to say we want to fail, I think is vastly different to anyone else in the industry, actually.
Mm.
To allow
That's
us.
a big thing. Yeah, I'm still getting to learn that having to fail.
It's hard. It's hard as an individual to take criticism. We get defensive. We did when customer success phoned round a few weeks ago. There was a bit of feedback that I think someone's onboarding hadn't been done as efficiently as it could have been done, and we were both like, "Oh, what? No." We stepped back and went, "Hold on a second. Actually, that's really useful feedback because it wasn't good. We had missed a trick there, and what we do now this week, we're reviewing the onboarding process more formally, thinking about how we do things in a more formal way. That wouldn't have really happened had we not had that conversation. So those sorts of feedback loops are vastly important to any product development. So yeah, I think our getting our feedback and allowing us to develop the technology to solve a problem better is definitely what sets us apart. I mean, we've had conversations and I mean, you don't think we have competitors, do you?
Oh, if we're comparing to everything that we do and the way we act, then no, we have similar people that do similar things. But if you said to me, find a direct competitor of Compliance Rocks as we are now that does everything, then I'd say no,
Yeah, I think
no.
yeah, I think if you look at the way we operate, yes, we don't have any competitors. But if you look at the output, what we currently achieve, We have loads. There's
Mm.
thousands. There's thousands of
Mm.
consultants
Oh,
out
there's
there.
one-man bands and there's big companies that do it.
Yeah. I mean, would you say Uber and Only a Car are competitors?
Well, in a way, yes,
Yeah, but they
because
operate so
you're
different.
not giving money to Uber, aren't you? You're putting money in your own car and driving yourself.
Why do we get an Uber and why do you own a car? Simply to get from A to B. That's all we have these
Mm.
transport facilities for, is to get from one place to another. Do they both serve the same purpose of getting you from one place to another? Yes. Do they do it differently? Of course they do. I'm not saying one is better or worse. I'm just saying in that instance, you've got fundamentally different approaches to achieving the same outcome.
One you get done for D&D. The other one you get charged for stupid spike fees.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but you get the point though. It is
I know, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
we do things fundamentally differently to get to an end goal. The thing with Uber is they've then gone, okay, what else could we do to make our product better than Only a Car? And they have kind of all the feedback loops. You can review your drivers. You can get to places that you couldn't get on a car because it's obviously a taxi. You can even track people home, so you know if you've got your partner out or your child who's just going out for the night or whatever, you can track their Uber home. So there's safety features that cars don't have in terms of that. So they've built features that make their product better than the alternative.
Even splitting the bills,
Yeah,
which is great.
and I
Isn't
think
it?
that,
Something that simple. That's
but
fantastic.
that doesn't compete with the car. That competes with minicabs and black
Yeah,
cabs.
yeah,
That's the thing. So,
yeah.
so that's the point. Is it they found a thing that makes them better. I mean, yeah, there's many negative. I'm not saying Uber's the be all end all at all. I'm not saying that one bit, but it's an example where I think we do something so totally different to other people in the industry. But rather than trying to walk all over them and say, look, we're going to stop you doing the job that you've built a career around to our competitors, how about we work together? How about we create the technology and give you the skills, training, and support and the tools to be able to provide the level of service that we provide to our clients at the moment, and streamline your business, provide a better level of service and support to your clients, and make you more money in the process. It's kind of a win-win, and that kind of leads into our partnership scheme, which we've spoken about before in passing and in various ways. But the one we're really focusing on at the moment is our TM partnership, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking about our business compared to others just quickly, and something popped into my mind that a lot of other competitors are like a storefront. You just go in, buy a service, see you next year. And obviously with us, it's different, isn't it? It's an organic, growing, changing relationship. We're always working with it. I don't know. It just came to my mind.
Yeah,
Probably 'cause I need to go to the shops after this.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I think the fact that we have, I mean, how many clients? I mean, we're not going to talk numbers, obviously, but like and specifics. But could you manage the number of clients that you manage on a day-to-day basis without the technology that we built?
No, no. It's yeah. We discuss this all the time, and no, even though we've
Was that a no?
built
I think that's a no.
no.
No, no, no. So yeah, John, could you manage the number of clients you manage without the technology we built?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, you would spend so much time doing laborious administrative tasks like emails, copying up, chasing up people for Excel spreadsheets, taking pictures of cruddy bits of paperwork. We had a great example.
Printing
Yeah,
things off, having tons of folders.
I was going to say I was talking to a client, well, who wasn't a client but is now a client a few months ago, and she was like, "Oh, should I send you my folder?" I was like, "No, please don't. I don't want your folder of paperwork. That adds no value to me. As soon as you print something off, it's got no value, and that it doesn't make sense to have bits of paper." And I think that highlights how we operate now. I mean, what do our clients need to do a job?
Just
Just a phone, isn't it? I mean, we don't need anything else. I mean, 99% of everything we do don't even need a laptop to do we? If any,
you only need a mobile phone. You don't need an iPad.
I think even the input forms we're building, all the stuff we input data, it's better on a phone anyway. It's been built like to be able to view the data as a business owner. You obviously want to have a nice, pretty dashboard of all your data in front of you. That would be better on a computer. But for your day-to-day operations of logging stuff going on, it's built to work on a phone better than a laptop because that's where you're going to be doing it. So we've optimized things in that way. But yeah, going back to sort of paper and stuff. I mean, if you had to be collecting folders from people to then review them, it just doesn't work, does it? It's not.
We would just be so slow. It would literally the whole time we would just be reactive to everything.
Yeah.
At the moment we're proactive. We plan everything. Everything's digital. Everything's in its place. But imagine what it would be like I'm trying to do. Let's just say I'm trying to do a submission for someone. Like help them do a silver submission. Let's just say, got to wait for the post to come. Got some certificates to come. Sorry, I don't work in it. I haven't got very good phone signal, so I can't WhatsApp you a picture. Okay, right, fine. Print it out, post it. Could you imagine if we actually worked like that?
Well, I wouldn't be here working with you.
It's like, can you imagine if we had to have, like, say we have 200 clients. Can you imagine having 200 folders in an office? And each time, I feel like it's a sort of a, like a newsprint place, like a journalist, like, this just in from, Alan Talbot Haulage. He's got this truck and here's a bit of paper. Print it off and get in the folders. I think we would murder each other.
What would have happened? Because I mean, we like to think we're a professional outfit, don't we? We have offices. We don't work from home. We are all in an office when we're not in lockdown. But imagine if we had an office of paperwork. How would we operate now? Like, we're all from home. You're in your conservatory. I'm in my bedroom. Like, how would we do our jobs if we couldn't access that paperwork?
Well, we wouldn't.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot.
We just couldn't. We'd have to close.
A lot of our competitors, who are one-man bands, don't have this problem because their offices are at home. They've built a home office and they keep all their paperwork in their spare room. That I guess would be okay, but I still think having paper is just such a dated way of doing things. I think having things digitally makes your life so much easier.
It's also cheaper.
Well, yeah.
Printers are bloody expensive, and the inks are just insane.
Well, it's like,
as well as paper.
I don't actually own a printer. I know, John, you do, because I mean, you're born a few years before me, so you still have paper.
I think you find the printers from my wife, who has a separate business which she needs a printer. I think I've literally since I've had the printer.
I think I've
3
printed
years, I think
more,
I've used it.
I think I've done more prints on your printer than you have.
Yes, I think the only time I ever print is for theatre tickets or tickets for an event, which I find. What event did we go to not so long ago?
Was it Cirque du Soleil?
I think it was Cirque du Soleil or the Lion King or something like that. And it was like, you have to print a ticket. So many other theatres in London. What was it? No, the Lyceum. I think there's a Lyceum that plays Lion King. That was on the phone. We could use the QR code. But everywhere else, it's like you've got to print the paper. And if it was low on black ink, the QR code would have come out right. So get this. What did we go and see? I think it was Bodyguard. Or something like that. It wasn't London. It was in Birmingham, I think. Anyway, so we printed it here, and the ink was low, so it wasn't great. But I could scan it on my phone. I texted it, and it was like, yeah, it looks right. It works. Got there, the QR card didn't work, so they had to print it there for free to let me in. I was like, why not just print it here? Why not just scan it on your computer? He brought it up on the computer, and he got this. He was like, I'm just going to check it. Yeah, it works. I'll print it out. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Rant over.
Cool.
Tech.
Talking about paper, well, I've got an equivalent story. I went to India for a wedding a few weeks ago before this all happened, and we had to print off. We didn't print off the visa, so it's a really hard process to get your visa. You go through, you get it emailed to you. You scroll to the bottom of that. There's a little link that says, "Click here to print off the actual visa." You think the email confirmation is the visa because it says, "This is the visa" on the email. And then you've got to scroll down, and we didn't do that, so we got to check it and go, you need to print this off. They're like, look, go downstairs to the lounge, and they'll print it for you for £1. They've obviously, this is the problem that airline has so often. They've built a relationship with the lounge downstairs, not the same airline, different airline, lounge.
And it's £1.
It was just £1 to print it. I was like, everyone in that process knows it is all bull, but
That's
it's
just
not done.
insane.
Anyway, that's
It's almost as bad as going, go to your local library and print it off there. They do 10p for a copy.
yeah. Well, at least that's a nice easy thing for Stu to cut out of the middle, because none of that is useful. But it's
Oh no, but I think it's quite funny. I think it's
yeah.
quite funny.
We'll see what he leaves in, and then we'll yeah. There you go.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, I wonder how many clips of Stu in the background are we going to have this week on this episode. Hopefully none.
Dr. Mittens.
So I guess yeah. In summary, I think we've kind of covered why we think our recurring model really works, because it spreads the cost, but it means we are incentivized to add value every single month, which I think we do. As I say, you look at what we offered 16, 17 months ago when we started this to where we are now and what we're doing in the next 12 months. I mean, yeah, just looking at the format of some of the paperwork was...
We cringe, don't we?
Oh, God. It's like, I mean, I feel like going to... We should have to start a compliance rocks museum of kind of monthly report through the ages and kind of have them on the wall and go...
Look at this first report. It's 17 pages.
Yeah, now it's down to what, 4 or 5, and actually all of it... It's got more useful stuff on it than it did before. Because we want to make that service better, and I think that's like important for us to come into the industry like that. So yeah,
We're always looking to continuously change, aren't we? We're always looking for changing things for the better and streamlining it to make it easier, make it better, make it more efficient.
yeah, and I think
Better, faster, stronger.
Wow, we've got lots of references to do for the intro for this podcast.
I just keep thinking of the Keith Lemon sketch show now. Hello, my name's Kanye. I'm from Manchester.
But yeah, I think our digital way of working has definitely kind of meant that we can scale our business, and the digital stuff we're developing at the moment allows us to scale further. And I think it's allowed us to really look at the partnership scheme in a different way and kind of go, look, we can get TMs to work with us. We can train them. We can give them the skills and the tools that we provide, and they can go away and do it with their clients. Add value to their clients that wouldn't otherwise have it. Add value to them because it can make their life easier. They can use different tools to do the same job. I mean, they can manage more clients. I mean, it's a win-win, really, in my opinion. And I think, I guess the key takeaway of this podcast is really that because we're taking this industry into the 21st century in terms of how they manage their compliance, because there are so many digital systems already out there on the market within our space. How many defect reporting apps are there? How many kind of maintenance planners are there out there? How many people can do taco analysis online? I mean, there's thousands of these companies, but I think the fundamental problem is they're not very easy to use, a lot of them. They don't really talk at a common goal, and they don't link with each other. And so you've got to have 30 or 40 different systems just to be able to work out how you're compliant, and you've got no way of aggregating that data to work out how you're operating. Whereas I think,
or you've got to do about 50 blooming clicks to get through, like that example we saw.
Oh, that was fantastic.
The commercial vehicle show. When did we go there?
That was 2019.
Was it,
it wasn't this year. Obviously, it's been cancelled.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah, it was last year. Yeah. I thought it was the year before. Yeah.
So I mean that was fantastic. Kind of going up to I'm not going to mention names because I think that's unfair, but. Went up to him and he said, oh, what do you do? He asked me and you, and we were like, look, we're going to be very honest here. I think we might be a competitor. And he was like, oh, okay, fine. And so I was like, okay, show me your management system. Show me where your driving license is. How would you get access to your driving license? And I sat there and we're like... And then about 30 seconds later, with how many clicks did he take to get to that page?
Well, that's what we joked when we walked away, and we joked that, obviously... If you get lost and you're far better at tech than I am, I didn't have a clue. I was, I know tech, but I was like, after the 7th click, I got bored and I was thinking about lunch.
I mean, is that a reflection on you more than him? But no, I think the point is fair. It took so long to get through, and he was like, "Oh, this has got 15 million lines of code. I've been working on this for 25 years." I was like, "Yeah, I can tell.
We can see
it's crap." It didn't solve the problem, because the thing is, you've got to put the customer at the centre of everything you do. The customer is the most important person in this relationship, and if they don't get it, they're not going to use it, and if they're not going to use it, they're going to bugger off somewhere else. So I think it's important that putting the customer at the centre of everything we do and how things work. And so I mean that's that approach to tech is, I guess, what's going to set us apart. I like to think to other people in the industry is we're genuinely using tech for good and doing it for the benefit of the customer, not the benefit of us.
And that's why we can't wait to eventually take our product to the commercial vehicle show, whenever that is.
Or whenever they hold it, yeah.
Mm.
That'd be good to do a nice big demo of that. So I think that probably kind of sums up and is a good place to wrap up today's chat, I guess, because yeah, I think we've got to the natural end. I think just talk about our subscription model, we add value, and the feedback loop is vital. So yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah, cool. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, if you want to follow us on Spotify, find us on YouTube, or find us on our socials.
You can like us on Instagram, follow and like us on Facebook, and also head over to compliance.rocks for more information.
And if you want to talk to us directly, feel free to send me an email, alan@compliance.rocks, or follow me on LinkedIn.
And also, if you want to get hold of me, it's john@compliance.rocks. And again, I'm on LinkedIn, so feel free to follow me there.
Thanks, guys, and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.